We're live streaming. I'm going to press record as a backup. All right, Ken, go ahead.
Okay. Good evening. It is 6:01 p.m. We have there's a quorum of the Land Use Committee. I'm going to start the meeting now because there are a few preliminary things that we're going to have to do. First of all, I'm going to note the conduct statement, the conduct statement that everybody is required, and the action, basically, any action or behavior that disrupts or interferes with the business of the meeting will not be tolerated. I'm not doing word for word, repeated violations by the same person or group of people may result in further action by the community board. Public speakers must address the full board of the committee with their concerns. A continuing position other than an officer of Community Board 11 is prohibited. Engaging in acts of violence, including threats, are grounds for immediate suspension of the right to attend meetings pending review by the Ethics and Disciplinary Committee. Want to respect the equality, diversity, and privacy of all persons by respecting and valuing differences of culture and opinion. Refrain from unpleasant or disparaging remarks and other actions. Abstain from all forms of harassment by actively discouraging it. Disseminating false information is prohibited. That is basically the conduct statement. Harry, good evening. So I wanted to start because I just read the conduct statement. And also now I think I would first and go to the items on the agenda. The first item on the agenda, gotta move the agenda up because I don't have it printed out. First item on the agenda is review of the meeting minutes. We've all had the minutes of the last meeting. I'd like to vote to adopt them. All in favor?
In favor, yes, aye.
Anybody opposed?
In favor.
I think,
Minutes are adopted.
Ken, really quick, I think the first thing
So-
was for introduction.
Oral, your volume is very low. Can you adjust your volume?
No. Yep.
Can you hear me now or no?
Very low.
Yeah, now we can.
What about now? Is it better now? No?
Slightly better.
Trying to adjust it. Oh, that's interesting. Right. Okay, anyway, I'll try to talk louder then because I'm not sure why it's so low. Yeah, Ken, we were supposed to introduce everyone before we did anything else. So go around and try to introduce ourselves.
Fine, we'll do that. Okay, I was gonna do it. Okay, we have myself as the chair of the board. I'm gonna do it in the order that it appears on my screen. Got Cynthia Rodriguez, a committee member, and Phyllis Nastasio, she's the chair of I forget which committee. Phyllis? And I'm terrible on the
Education, Chair of Education.
Oral Sucker, the co-chair of the Land Use Committee. Jeremy, who is the district manager. Mr. Rushin Gandhi, did I pronounce it correctly?
Yes,
Is
Rushin
the
Gandhi.
owner. Sandy Anagustu,
Good
is
evening.
the architect. Sandy, okay. David, we have a telephone number 631 something 85. I don't know who that person is. Let me unmute you temporarily. Who are you? If you wish to introduce yourself. Well, we'll get back to you. Next is Ms. Delgado, Roxanne Delgado, a member of the public. Diana Finch, also a member of the public. Harry Santana, the other member of the fourth member of the committee. Mr. Weinstein from HPD, Michael Cast, Robert Press, members of the Mr. Dooling from DCP, and Winfred Campbell. All right, first I'd like to hear from Mr. Gandhi. Would you like to speak first, or would you rather have the architect speak?
I would like Sandy to speak on our behalf, please.
Okay. Sandy,
Sure.
I just had, Sandy, do you want?
Yes.
Sandy,
Good evening. Sandy Anagnostou, representing the Office of Gerald Caliendo Architect, and I'm joined by Mr. Rushin Gandhi, the property owner of 2344 Eastchester Road. If you'll allow me to share my screen, I can make a really quick presentation.
Please. Okay, yeah, no problem. Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you for allowing us to make this presentation this evening. So this is a Board of Standards and Appeals application under the special order calendar for calendar number 8491BZ. And the location is 2344 Eastchester Road. And here is an area map. This is the site in purple highlighted here, and a 400-foot radius of the site. The site is located in an R4A zoning district, and it has frontage on Eastchester Road. Here's the zoning map. So this was a BSA application dating back to 1991, when the board permitted the use of the building, the change of the use from office to, actually, they permitted the use of the entire building as a use group 6, professional office. And these are the previously approved Board of Standards and Appeals plans. It's a 2-story brick building with a basement. I have photographs. I'm just going through the floor plans. This is the basement, first floor, second floor, and an attic. So here are some front and side elevations, section, the north and east elevation. And this is the site here. I have some photographs. So here is Eastchester Road. The site is this brick building right here. Here's the front of the building. And just looking around the area, we have many, many photographs. We did a neighborhood study, which I'll get more into. So this is the front of the building. And we will be doing a lot of the landscaping work. This is just what it looked like in February. A lot of, when I get into the proposed plan, we're proposing to add a lot of landscaping here and upgrade the existing fencing, especially this chain link fencing. We're going to replace that. But just to give you a context of the site, it's along Eastchester Road, which is very much sort of like a medical office and medical facility, I would say, corridor. So we studied this area, and within this 2-block area here, we documented a lot of the existing doctor offices. Right immediately adjacent is a cancer care center. For a little bit further down the block is this 1-story row of commercial and medical offices here. Across the street is another dental office. You have the nursing and rehab center across the street. This is a dialysis center and another dental practice, a wellness center, medical office with quite a few doctors in here. And then you have hearing and children's therapy, orthopedic surgery center, open MRI. You have LabCorp and this medical Eastchester Plaza with many, many professional and medical offices here. I'm sorry. So going to into our proposed plan. Yes, I'm sorry. You have a question? Oh, so going into our
No, go on.
Going into our proposal, the change that we are making, besides extending the term of the variance, the prior variance had a 20-year term. which expired in September of 2022. So we're requesting an extension of the term for another 20 years, but we're also requesting that we revert back to the permitted use on the basement level and first floor only. We would like to revert back to an as of right medical office on those floors only and continue the commercial professional office or business office use on the second floor. No commercial office use or storage is proposed or will be permitted in the attic. So basically what we're doing is reducing the degree of non-compliance and reducing the scope of the prior grant because we're reverting back to a use group 4 medical office, which is permitted as a right in an R4A. However, the use on the second floor business office still requires the variance. Therefore, we always have to refer back to BSA, not only for the extension of the term, but also for any amendments that we're making, even if the changes we are making or proposing to make are as of right. And of course, under that process, we also are referring to the community board for their input. We're proposing this small sign on the front just to identify the practice. And this is the section again noting that there'll be no storage permitted and no commercial use in the attic. We did have an initial hearing at the Board of Standards and Appeals on March 13th. And the BSK gave us some recommendations. They wanted us to add this planting strip along the rear lot line, which we show here. That was one of their recommendations, to provide a further visual buffer. And also they wanted us to put in new asphalt paving in the parking area. We're proposing to have 6 spaces. Under the prior approval, there was a garage here, which has been demolished, and we feel this is a much better parking area and even allows for 1 additional space. So Mr. Gandhi is going to actually demarcate these parking spaces as per the BSA's recommendation. Additionally, he will be repairing and repainting this wrought iron fence. I can go to the photos to show that. The area we're talking about is right here. He'll be repairing and painting this wrought iron fence. This area back here he'll be putting in residential type 100% opaque PVC fencing, similar to what's here on the adjacent property. He'll put it along the rear lot line and along the side lot line here to match the existing neighbor's fencing. And I think that was, yeah, that'll be a 6-foot high, 100% opaque fence. Those were really the recommendations that the board had on this application. So if there are any questions or concerns that you may have, I'll be happy to address those.
Hi, Sandy. This is Cynthia from the Community Board. I was curious, I know that previously there was medical in the basement of that structure, and I believe residential on the first floor. How long was it medical before it switched over to completely office?
So the prior board case was filed in 1991. So at that time it was switched to professional office. So there may have been medical before, but it was changed over. Yeah, it was converted on September, I'm just reading from the resolution, on September 15th, 1992, the board granted a variance which permitted within an R32, it was an R32 zoning district at that time, the legalization of the conversion of the subject building with medical offices in the basement and residential uses on the first and second floor to professional offices throughout. So yes, you're correct. It was medical office in the basement and residential on the first and second floor. So in 1992, that variance allowed the legalization of the conversion for the entire building to be converted to use group 6 on all floors, except for the attic, I believe.
That's it. Okay.
Thank you.
Sandy, thank you very much.
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
It's very brief. As far as the parking, how has it been used to date? Is it just for the people who are working there? And is the expected use of the parking going to be extended to patients who are using the facility, or is it going to be reserved for the staff?
I believe it will be for staff and patients as
patients.
well.
Correct, yes.
Thank you.
Sandy? Sandy,
Yes.
as of now, how many dentists were the prior practice, the prior use of this building was as a law office, correct?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
the most immediate past use.
Yes.
That's correct. It was a lawyer's office.
And so if
Okay.
Mr.
And
Gandhi,
also,
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry for interrupting.
okay, right, it's okay. The immediate past use was as a law office, am I correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. And you're going to have, how many dentists you're going to have be in this practice? Because it looks like you've got eight or nine rooms, correct?
Yes, Mr. Gandhi, do you want to elaborate on that?
Yes, so
No.
it'll be my wife and one more dentist. We'll be bringing specialists, but they'll be mainly working on once every couple of weeks, once a week, depending on the number of patients we are able to get for them.
Quick question.
Well, just this, Mr. Sarandi, you are a dentist also?
My wife is.
Is your wife? Okay, that's just, okay, that's fine. I don't have any, let me say, I had one more question, I think. Okay, no, I don't have anything else anymore. Harry, Oral, do you have any questions?
I do. Can you go back to the photograph of the front elevation, Sandy?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you very well. Go back to the
Can you go
photograph you
back to
said?
the front elevation of the building, the street elevation of the building?
The plan?
Street
The
elevation,
front
Sandy.
elevation, the street elevation, the picture, the photograph,
Okay,
photograph.
sure.
I'm not sure why my volume is so low. Sorry
That's
about that.
okay.
Okay,
Here?
no, yeah, that one's great. So that when I walk straight in on that first floor, is that what you consider the basement? When you walk the door that's on the grade,
Yes.
that's okay. And this first floor is when you go up the stairs, that's the first floor for you, right? You consider it the first floor.
Yes.
And then above that is the second floor. You consider that the second floor, correct?
That's correct.
And what's on the second floor again?
Second floor will remain a business office.
Okay, so
Group
the business is
6.
on the top floor, And then the basement that you walk straight in will be medical, and above that will be medical also. Is that correct?
Yes, dental office. But the
Dental office.
dental practice will occupy the basement level and the first floor.
Okay, so the basement level is like street level almost. You have a ways to get out in the back. You have egress works and everything like that, right?
Yes,
Correct.
absolutely.
Okay, fantastic. Can you go to the backyard now? The shot of the backyard, the photograph of the rear yard.
Sure. This is the rear.
Okay, that's it. That's great.
Yeah.
So one of my concerns back here is I'm an architect too, Sandy.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit concerned about the drainage. Where's the drainage for the area? Because you know, when you do when you fully pave a backyard, you know, when it rains, you have to do that that calculation of the amount of rainfall to go into either catch basin, or you have to have it, or you have to have grade there. You can't have any hard surface on there. Did you do the calculations for the amount of water that's going to be accumulating back here? Do you have dry wells back here?
We're doing it as part of the building department application, so that's
Okay.
under,
Sandy, if I may interject, we do have
Yes.
dry wells
Mhm.
from here before.
Right. I don't see them, because usually there's a grading there on the top where you see the dry well to collect the rainwater runoff. Because, you know, if you don't collect that, it goes into other people's property and floods their basements.
I'm not sure if you can see. You don't see it in these pictures.
How many dry wells,
Let me
depending on the
see.
square footage of the property, how many dry wells do you have? Do you recall, Mr. Rashin or Sandy?
We have 2 dry wells.
2.
Okay, and it was already approved with the calculations with the buildings department already? Previously?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, under the NB application.
The NBI, yeah, I just don't see it. That's my one concern that I have on it. I don't see the dry wells from the photographs. That's how I was looking at it. Do you have a picture of it, Sandy, anywhere of the dry well I can see, or no?
I don't
I don't see it here either.
think so.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So you're gonna make sure that that's there, Sandy, to make sure that they have enough runoff to catch because right now, especially even in the front area here, are you gonna have grass there to landscaping too?
Yes.
Yes. We were just waiting for better weather. In fact, my landscaper was there yesterday to fix up the sides. So if you go back, Sandy, just one more picture.
This one?
Where you see the wall, the white half wall, we already put it was falling off, and that was one of the reasons we removed the parking garage. So he went in and fixed the concrete wall, half concrete wall, and now we are going to once
this
that wall
one.
is dried, yeah, that wall.
Is he going to remove that white wall?
No.
No.
What is he going to do with that wall there? Just fix
So
it?
my intention is to put a residential quality white, fully opaque wall 6 feet high all the way around the fencing. So it looks consistent with the rest of
No,
the
I'm talking about that
houses.
white wall there. Looks in pretty bad shape. Are you keeping that wall? It may not be in bad shape. I'm just guessing from the photograph. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
It was.
It looks like it's in bad shape. Are you going to remove it, or are you just going to put a fence in front of it?
No. So it was crumbling. So we had somebody fix it. I already have a picture of it on my phone. I'm not sure how to share it.
Right.
But my contractor already fixed it, and we are going to put a fence in front of it so that it looks consistent with what's next to it. So
Yeah,
instead
it's
of putting
basic
anything on the
wall.
side,
So in front of it, meaning facing your property, or in front of it, behind it, facing the residential property? I can't tell from this photograph.
facing inside, so on my lot. So
Oh, so it doesn't have any aesthetic value to the outside. It's just on your side, right?
correct, and from the other side as well. So essentially, even the chain link fencing and all that, I want all of it to look consistent. So
what are you
it'll be
gonna do
on
with the
both
chain?
sides.
Are you going to remove the chain link fence also, or are you keeping the chain link fence?
I haven't spoken to the contractor yet on that, but if it needs to be removed, we will remove it.
Yeah, because if you just put a fence in front of it, you're just hiding the situation, right? Because the chain link fence
Right.
doesn't look like it's in good shape from the photographs. I don't know. I haven't been out there to push on it to see if it's a sound fence. I don't know.
So
I got
it's
a question. Is the
Go
chain
ahead.
link
Can I
fence
finish
yours?
first? Harry, can I finish first, please? Go ahead.
Okay, so it looks like a normal wear and tear. There is no breakage to it, but it's been there probably for last 25, 30 years. That's my
Right.
guess. So there is no other damage to it, but I
Okay.
do want to bring it up more cosmetically. So if I have to remove it, I will remove it. Absolutely.
Okay.
Or you would
And-
put the PVC fencing on both sides, on
Correct.
the inside on your property and on the outside of your property, again, on your property lot, but on the outside.
That would make that's an interesting approach, Sandy, but you might as well just knock the fence down and put one fence instead of doing two
Right,
fences.
right, exactly.
That, economically, that would probably make more sense for the owner. Anyway, so that property back here it looks like it's not level. Are you gonna level it out or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay, that's it. And I'm worried about the drainage, the crumbling white wall and the fencing. Those are my major concerns, but it looks as if you're going to make sure that those are taken care of.
Correct. And
Absolutely.
Sandy,
yes.
I can email you a picture that shows that we already fixed up the wall. So I had somebody work on it. I didn't want to put too much work before the season
Right.
changes
Right.
and we get all the bigger deliveries. So I'm just waiting for the weather to improve.
Okay,
So
because I
you
live
can,
I
you
live
can
in
forward
walking
that
distance
to
from this
me and
property.
I'll submit it to the community board.
Fantastic. I live in walking distance from this property, so I know this building very,
Okay,
very
good.
well. Okay.
Harry, you had some questions?
Yeah, two questions. It'll be nice if somebody takes a site visit. And two, does the chain link fence belong to the owner of that house?
That's a good point, Harry. That's a very good point. Who does a chain link fence belong to?
I'm not sure on that. Sandy, do you have an answer for that?
I believe it belongs to you because it's shown on the prior approved plans. It
Okay.
belongs to you. It's on your property line.
Yeah, but Harry's right. Sometimes when people put a fence in between, they divide the cost because it's right along the property line. Many owners they chip together to buy the fence, and it belongs to both owners. But sometimes you're right. Sometimes one person buys the entire fence, like I did for my property. My owner wouldn't want to chip in to put a new fence. So I just did it myself, and I knocked down his fence. We just made a really nice fence for free. Anyway, okay.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Mr. Gandhi is committed to, doing a lot of landscaping work here, a lot of paving and all the fencing work.
Fantastic.
So
Yeah, Harry,
he's-
I would try to do like you said. I may pay a visit there, but it looks like Mr. Gandhi looks like he's really looking into the things that needs to be done. And Sandy, as an architect, she's making sure things get done the right way. And the buildings department will make sure that it's done the right way anyway.
Of course, as well as the Board of Standards and Appeals. And of
Yes, right.
course,
The
we
BSA.
want to
yes.
get your input to implement your suggestions.
Okay.
Okay. Next with members of the community board. I'll start. Bernadette, do you have any questions?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Okay.
I had checked out this property beforehand, but I don't have any questions.
Okay, so we got, who else do we have from the board? We have we have Phyllis Nastasia. Phyllis, do you have any questions?
Yes, I also live within walking distance of this property, literally around the corner. Will it be
We're neighbors.
ADA compliant?
Oh, good question.
It's, well,
Yes. The
it
answer is
is
yes.
because
Yeah, but
You know,
still,
they'll be
even-
able
but
to
still-
access this first floor also?
You can walk right in from the
Elevator,
basement
elevator
level.
fellows, they have an elevator.
So we added the elevator to the building. If you see the plans, and all the bathrooms and everything are compliant of ADA.
Perfect.
Okay.
Let me go
Oh,
switch to the
that's-
plan.
Go ahead, go to the plans. I saw it in the front corner in the front in the
Correct.
entrance.
Correct, correct.
Floor plans.
Sorry, there are like many slides here. Okay. So yes, here,
Right there's the elevator.
the
I saw it.
basement level.
Yeah.
And then you have right here,
I saw something about it being ADA compliant somewhere on the plans when I looked them over
No,
before.
no, you see, if you look at the bathroom, you see that circle in there with it with
Yes.
a wheelchair symbol.
Yep.
That means it's
yes,
ADA
that's
compliant.
all in ADA accessible.
And just like the lobby too, Ken, if you look at the lobby, you see the circle with the
Yeah,
with the ADA sign in it. I mean, it's ADA compliant because you have
ADA compliant.
radius. Yeah.
And the
okay.
first floor as well, here, you see.
Yes.
The
I-
elevator, ADA, we have the right clearances
Okay.
here for a wheelchair, and then same for the patient bathroom, and then
Very nice.
treatment
Perfect.
rooms.
You should have an
good.
ADA,
Very good.
ADA exam room, treatment room. Do you have one here? It's I don't know if maybe the last one, the very top one, maybe ADA compliant. Well, that may be one that's there because it should be larger than the other ones.
Yeah, it's fairly large.
Yeah, just like the other.
Treatment room
Yes.
7.
Most certainly, yes. The last room definitely is wide enough with enough clearance.
Yeah.
All right. Jeremy, did anybody register to speak for this hearing? Jeremy, are you there? May have gone away for a while. Jeremy?
Let me send him a quick message just in case.
Yeah. Okay. If,
I mean, in the interest of time,
what I'm gonna do in the interest of time, Cindy, let me go down by the,
yes.
if anybody wants to speak, I will go down on my thing over here. Sandy, let me start with Roxanne Delgado. Are you interested? Do you have any questions for the members? Would you like to speak for 2 minutes?
Yes, I would like to. This is Roxanne Delgado. I have a question. Is it the Department of City Planning or the Board of Standards of Appeal or the
We have to time
applicant?
it. Hold on.
1 second. Tell me when to start. Hello? Hello?
Roxanne, you hold on
When
a
do I-
second, please.
Okay.
Could you wait a second, please? We're gonna time you 2 minutes.
Ken, she's waiting.
Yeah.
She said yes, Ken.
Okay, thank you. Go on, Roxanne.
I have a 30-second warning before you start.
Okay, yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
My question again was for the Department of City Planning or the Board of Standard of Appeals, or is it the applicant that must notify the community board? And is it mandatory for them to notify the community board? And I ask this only because I noticed that 1912 Emerald Street just had an extension of their variance, which was basically spearheaded by the former chair, Yahya Obeid. And for some reason, the public was not notified of this, nor did community board level hold a public hearing, which gives it an appearance of conflict of interest because at the prior meetings years ago, the community expressed that there was a capacity for over 800 people, but no parking lot required, no parking space required. So I'm wondering who is it that mandates to be the community board to be notified? Is it the Department of City Planning, Board of Standards of Appeal, or the applicant? And are they obligated to inform the community board? And should not the community board notify the public when there's a request for a variance extension? Can someone answer that for me, please?
I can answer that.
Thank you.
So for a Board of Standards and Appeals application, for any Board of Standards and Appeals application, such as this one, when the applicant files at the BSA, we are required under the rules of the Board of Standards and Appeals to provide a copy of the application to the community board, as well as the borough president, or as well as the city council person, which we did. Then when the application gets calendared for a public hearing at the Board of Standards and Appeals, we're required again to notify the community board that this is coming up for a hearing, which we did. For this particular type of application, it's called an SO special order calendar. It's a little bit different than a BZ case. So in this case, we have to notify the parties that I mentioned before, but we do not have to notify the property owners within a 400-foot radius. That was done under the original variance application, okay? So whenever you have a variance application, a new variance application, or a new special permit, then the notification of the property owners is required. So I'm not sure about the application that you mentioned before, but it's always the applicant who has to do that notification. In fact, if it's a new variance application, unless it's a residential like yard waiver, it also has to be published in the local newspaper. But that's for new variance applications, not like this one that's an existing that we're going back to extend the term and doing an amendment. So it's always the applicant who has to notify the community board.
Yeah, and it's required by the BSA. The BSA will let them know
Yes.
they have to do it. Yep, very good, Sandy.
Thank you for that, and I
Alright,
thank
thank
you. But that was not done for 1912 Amherst. I don't know why the board decided not to hold a hearing on that, and it's essentially a conflict of interest, which I'll address outside this board meeting. Thank you so much. Thank you for your detailed explanation.
okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Next, we can have Robert Press.
Yes, hi, thank you.
Mr. Press.
Is this a increase of space more than 2,500 square
No,
feet?
we're not enlarging the building. Whatever changes we're doing are interior. We're not enlarging or increasing the floor area.
Okay, so then why is Mr. Weinstein from HPD here?
I'm not sure.
Okay, and I want to thank the
To answer
committee
some questions.
members for their excellent questions. Thank you.
Okay.
Now there is a phone number 631 something 85. Is that person here? Is that person wishing to speak? No. Okay. Diana Finch,
No questions, thank you.
thank you. Michael Case, anything?
No, nothing for me. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. I don't see any reason to have anybody from the city planning. We have not, Mr. Weinstein, if you have anything to add, well, fine. If not, do you have anything to add?
Not to add, but if you want me to answer Mr. Press's question,
No,
I think that's good, Ken. I want him to answer Mr. Press's question because I'm curious too.
okay.
I mean, it's a public meeting and we're interested in what goes on.
Thank
My
you.
deputy is here tonight as well.
No,
Yeah.
Ted, I appreciate you.
Ted-
I myself appreciate you being here. I do.
Thank you.
Mr. Dooling, I guess same thing from you, correct?
Yes, I'm here for
This was the-
awareness, same as Mr. Weinstein. I don't have any direct questions about the
I
application.
appreciate that. We
Thank you.
really do. Thank you for showing up. It
Okay.
helps.
Winnie Campbell, anything? Okay, I'm going to declare the gallery is closed. We now have motions. On the next agenda is motions. I'm good. We already took care of the one thing on the minutes. We've adopted the minutes that we had been, the draft minutes that were for last time. Now I'd like to make a motion that we recommend to the community board that this application be approved for the 20-year variance and the various provisions. Are there any discussion on the motion?
I'll second.
So, thank you. I should have asked for a second first, and I apologize. Thank you for that.
You have a second and you have a third. And Sandy, great job explaining everything. I mean, you did a great job, Sandy, explaining.
Thank you so much.
Any discussion on the motion? All in favor? Anybody opposed? Let's put it that way. Motion carries. Now, let me just say anything else on the agenda that is, okay. The next is old business. I'm seeing something about community development, but I'm not sure why that's on there. As far as I know, we did not have anything on that. Then the next thing is community vision board workshop. Is there any other new business, any other old business? On that note, I would like to adjourn the meeting. I'd like to thank everybody for their attendance. And the meeting is adjourned.
Ken, I think Bernadette raised her hand.
Yeah. Oh,
Bernadette, I saw something like that. Bernadette,
Yes.
you raised your hand?
Yes, I just,
I didn't see.
under old, I just
Bernadette?
did it. I just did it, Ken. I just have an old business question.
I thought that was
Okay. Is there any update?
starting to breaking up.
Okay.
No, Ken, I think you're breaking up because we can hear her fine.
No. Okay. I just have a question. Are there any updates?
Okay.
Any updates on Boston Post Road?
Ken, she said any updates on Boston Post Road. I haven't heard any, Bernadette,
Road.
but I don't know if
No.
Ken has heard anything yet. Ken, have you heard anything
I haven't
yet?
heard anything. I haven't heard anything yet. We may be able to have another hearing on that, but I don't have before the next board meeting, just to invite the council member to come, but we have not said anything yet.
Okay, thank you.
Bernadette, you were referring to
Okay.
2560?
Yes,
By 2560, correct.
thank you.
I actually had a question from Jeremy that I have not had an answer yet, when that 50-day window
Oh, correct.
was going to expire. I'm gonna try to find out about that.
Okay, thanks.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. At this point, I would like to declare the meeting adjourned at 6:45. Everybody, thank you very much and have a good evening.
Good luck.
Thank you everyone for showing up.
Good luck with
Good night.
what you're doing.
Good night.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for coming on.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.